So the history of the computer is developing from just like a calculating machine, like calculators. So that is starting from generation 0. So we have calculating clock. You see the period is running between 1642 and 1945. We have like Pascaline, the difference machine engine to find the difference. And we have punch card. And then it's come to first generation. So let's look at this machine and image of this machine. It's like mechanical, like an engine in your car. Like because at that time, yeah, like that calculating, right? Machine. Yeah, that's pretty much the calculators, right? In the early, yeah. And you see they just use like what gears, right? Because they don't really have the technology what we have today. And what is the technology we talk about? Like first generation. First generation we talk about vacuum tube. So when you hold 0 and 1, that is what it is. You have the gas in that. Okay? And no gas, so that's 0 and 1. And this is going to create the first computer machine named ENIAC. And they create that for the World War. Okay? So that period is 1945 to 1953, right? Then if you look at this is the actual machine occupy that whole room. Okay, and if you look at this, he's checking the vacuum tubes. This is like a stack of the memories or RAM or hard disk. Why is it so big? Because the tube is big and we don't have the technology to pretty much save the bit like 1 or 0. We have the technology just using vacuum, like the material science. We don't have what we call semiconductors at that time. So, but the machine today is still based on that architecture. Okay, but the material itself that make it getting small. So you see the second generation we found transistor, right? So that's is this transistor computers, which is from the vacuum tube side is big, like a light bulb, or bigger than light bulb. It's smaller, up to like about the human finger can hold that, right? Which, if you look at IBM 7094, okay, that's the technology is just changed. So that's the size of the computer from occupying the whole room with the ENIAC. And of course, not everybody having access to use on that machine, right? Not in the household. Like if you write a program, you pretty much just have to line up to go to the college in the university to run the program. So that's during the Bill Gates time. He wrote a program and he had to run the program at the college. Okay. And accessing to the computer, they have the time limit. You have only 1 hour to use per week, something like that. Not like every day, every minute that you can do today. Okay, so that's the history. And that's the machine for that generation between 1954 to 1965. Now we come to the third generation when IC integrated circuit has been invented. So we see transistor, right? Now let's look at the image of the IC. Actually, IC. You may see this. So in one IC is small, And you see a lot of electronic devices still using that. Even in your smartphone, when you open it, you see one IC like that, integrated circuits. So you can have like a lot of, it depending on the size of IC, like could be 10 to 100 of transistor inside. So like transistor pretty much holds 0 and 1. IC also holds 0 and 1. So that's why when you look at, like this is image of IC, let me show you RAM. RAM also have all the ICs, right? Combined together to create RAM. So that the third generation of computer. So the computer is going to get smaller because of that, because of the material science. So it gets smaller now. It's just the size of the computer, just like a small refrigerator, like that. Okay. Up to the fourth generation when we have VLSI. Very large scale integrated together. That IC that you see on your iPhone, if you open it up, that has the VLSI, which combine like 10,000 of the IC, the previous IC in third generation inside. So that's why we see all the technology that we use today is actually start from 1980, which is old, about 36 years. And you see the periods is always change. This is only about how much? 15 years. So we believe that we are actually in the fifth generation. We don't know until we pass this generation. Okay. Alright, so that's the history that we need to know